You ready?
I'm ready over here. I'm in a different spot.
He is. So he can watch what I'm doing. Hi again. My name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel Reseller. And as most of you who've been watching me regularly know, I recently did a thing with my business. I put my entire eBay inventory into List Perfectly. And I wanted to kind of share the experience of what I've learned so far, which I'm still learning. I'm still trying to figure things out. I think List Perfectly does Zoom meetings. I don't remember when the next one is, but they actually do Zoom meetings to show you just how List Perfectly works and let you ask questions. So I'm probably going to do one of them at some time soon. But right now, I've just pretty much been relying on my friend Rhonda, Got Junk in Your Trunk, to answer anything that happens. And I've had to contact List Perfectly a few times just to get some clarification. And they're very receptive to answering my questions. So I wanted to share with you guys how I did it. Because, you know, when you have 11,700 items, it's not an easy task. So the first thing I did, and you guys are going to think this sounds funny. The first thing I did was I found the quickest computer in my house, which is Robert's computer. And Robert was gone for a week, so I was able to use his computer, believe me, pretty much nonstop throughout the day to do this inputting. And I'm going to show you an example of how I did it here in just a minute. But things that I learned: don't try to do a lot at one time. I did 25 at a time. I set up my eBay active screen to 25 items, and then I just did 25 at a time. Anytime I made sure there was nothing in Robert's memory to slow it down. I kept rebooting his computer to wipe out anything that might be in the cache. I don't know how all that works. But
Wait, because it opens up a tab for everything that it processes, right?
Yes.
So every tab you open up in Chrome or Firefox consumes more memory. Every now and then you just need to reboot it to clear it all out.
Right. And that's, if he had been here, you know, maybe he could have showed me how to clear it all out. But it just worked for me. So I did 25 items at a time. I figured out how long it would take to open up those screens completely, because it's always just kind of moving along while it's still trying to get the rest of the screens caught up. It was about 14 minutes. So I set a timer throughout the day. Every 14 minutes, I came upstairs and I closed out the windows that had opened and then started the next 25. It took a week. And I'm not saying I did it 24/7. I did it when I was home. You know, if I was out grocery shopping or yard selling or anything like that, then of course I wasn't doing it. So that's what I did. Every 14 minutes, I'd go upstairs and I'd start the next batch. You're just going to have to figure out how your internet is and how how fast your computer works, and then just do that. Not everybody has 11,000 items to transfer over. So just to give you an idea of how I did it.
And the lesson from this is List Perfectly didn't have all these features available from the get-go. And List Perfectly wasn't around when you started selling. Did they even have computers when you started selling?
Shut up. Yeah, but we only had to do like one picture and an auction.
But what I'm saying is, if you're new to eBay reselling, start this stuff early. Get your inventory system in place before you need an inventory system in place. That way you don't have to go back and spend a lot of time redoing stuff that would have been easy to start with.
Right. And the reason why I never did this in the beginning was, at first, you know, I was concerned about the end and sell similar, which I'm going to show you how I deal with that now. It's not an issue anymore. So, you know, when you're doing end and sell similar, I didn't want to have to either try to do it through List Perfectly, where it was, you know, it closes one and opens one and closes one and opens one. But you know, they didn't have that. And y'all, the AI Express lister is what brought me to this point. That thing is amazing. Amazing.
Rhonda messaged you in your Discord and
told me to go watch Nurse Flipper, and then I watched Bolo Buddies, and I was on board. I was on board, and I have been amazed, and I'm going to show you how I'm using it also in this video. If you're already using List Perfectly, I hope that you find the information in this video useful. But if you haven't signed up for List Perfectly and this gets you interested in giving it a try, down in the description of the video, I have an affiliate link for List Perfectly where you get 30% off your first month. So I'd appreciate if you'll use the link. If you, for some reason, can't find the link, you can just use coupon code The Rebel Reseller to get that 30% off. Anything else? No. All right, so I'm going to take you to my active listing screen, and I'm going to go off because I want you to see the whole screen. So you're just going to have to hear my voice from this point forward. As you can see, if you look at that first column where all of my listings are, you're going to see the 3 that say link. That is because I'm still not to the point for my toys that I'm using the Express Lister. I'm only using the Express Lister on List Perfectly for clothes. Clothes is my weakness. I don't get styles. I don't understand stuff. I just know the basics. And it's been doing an amazing job as far as helping me with clothes. I'm not there yet with my toys because I have and I've done a video on this, you know, everything under £1. I have set screens that I just use my listings and keep repeating, and everything over £1.
You do sell similar from your own listings.
From my own listings.
To get the basic settings on the listing and change the specifics for that item that you're currently listing.
Yeah. And I'm going to check into the templates on List Perfectly to see if that's going to help me make that transition also to where I'm starting my listings in List Perfectly, which I am doing with clothes, but not with toys yet. So
it's hard to teach an old dinosaur new tricks.
It is. I don't like change sometimes.
But this one's been
good. But this one's been amazing. All right, so these 3 things have not made it into List Perfectly yet. So what? And this is also how I went about transferring all of my listings into List Perfectly.
And you do, when you list this on eBay in the morning, your toys and stuff, you import them into List Perfectly immediately.
Right. I'll do the 10 listings or however many toys. Right now I've been doing 10 toys, 10 clothes. So I'll do the 10 toys and then I'll put them into List Perfectly, which is what I'm going to show you here. So all you do is you click this button here and I'm going to highlight these 3. When I was doing my whole store, I had this set up to do 25 at a time, and that's how I would do it. And then I just click this button and make it just import to List Perfectly. And as you can see, it's opening up windows. This computer's not fast.
It's probably the next fastest in the house.
It might be, yeah. My listing computer is not. So you don't do anything at this point. You just let it keep doing these 3 screens until it gets to a certain point, like here, where you see that active button. You know it's gone into List Perfectly. And then I would close it. And this is why I said I just waited the 14 minutes so all of these would be done. And all I had to do was go upstairs and close all of these. And see, that one's done. So now...
Is there a reason when you were bringing it from eBay, you didn't just go ahead and directly import it into Poshmark and Mercari right then?
No.
You could do that, right?
I could cross-list it from that point, from eBay to to Poshmark and Mercari, but you're adding an extra step because you're going to have to go link them now because they didn't originate from List Perfectly. You would have to go into each of them and link them to the listing that is now in List Perfectly. So that is why. So I'm going to refresh this screen and you're going to see the 3 things that are here. So here they are. And as you can see here under platforms, they're only on eBay. And at this point,
the next one down shows that it's on Etsy and Poshmark.
Right. This one I have cross-listed to the other 2 platforms. And then this is the rest of the stuff I did this morning. And as you can see, I've already put them on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. So then that's what I would do next with these, would be to go ahead and cross-list them. In fact, I'll show you how I'll do one of them. So I'm just going to click the cross list button. So I'm going to click the copy, and it's going to pull up cross listing. I'll just go back up here. You have to pick your, sometimes it'll fill in your categories, sometimes it doesn't. I'm just going to put these under action figures. There was no brand. It's good. Important step, always click on this because it's putting Mercari's suggested price or weight here for shipping. If you click on it, it's going to show what I did. It was 8 ounces. If you see their recommended there, it was going to be shipped at the 1 pound rate. So I'm going to change it. Select carrier to the USPS 499 under, under 8 ounces or less. There's my price. I do not do smart pricing. And list. So that's done with Mercari. Then I scooch over here. Same thing. I have to add my categories. Kids, toys, action figures. Change my size. Scooch down. When you transfer your items from eBay to List Perfectly, that original price, I put 0 there. I have to add, but if you started in List Perfectly, they actually have a place for you to go ahead and put the 0, and it skips over this part, which is really nice. All right, I always go back and make sure that it's listed. Sometimes it stalls out. Sometimes I didn't click the button right and it hasn't listed. So I just always go back and close them, making sure that they were there. So those 2 are done. If I refresh the screen, you'll see it there, Poshmark and Mercari. My screens are different because we had some technical difficulty. I'm going to explain how I'm using the Express Lister to do my clothes at this point. Now I may change that soon. Just right now I'm focusing on just the clothes.
And by change it, she means starting to use it for toys and other stuff.
Yeah, the toys and others, especially the others. But here we go. You scooch over here and you'll see under favorites, it says Express Lister. So we're going to start there. All right, and then you're not going to see it at this point, but I'm going to go into my photos and upload the next set.
Because of the way we're doing the screen recording, you can't see the pop-up window for the clothes selection.
And while I was waiting on the pictures, I try to remember to put in my custom SKU so I don't forget it and have to keep going back and forth, back and forth. All right, so my pants are loaded. And these are some Under Armour, like, track pants. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to click Listing Assistant.
You know it's finished when that thing turns orange, right?
Yes. And then right here is something you get to choose. And it's interesting, but I'm a just the facts kind of girl. So you can pick different ways that you want the AI to set up your listing. So you could do slightly funny, verbose, professional, but I choose just the facts. And then I'm going to launch it. We're going to see the magic happen. So it picked Under Armour, men's, I don't do special characters, track pants, size large. Go over here. Yep, large. Gray, black. Again, I'm going to take out that. Lightweight athletic gear. Pretty good, pretty good. Now, it automatically does this in a draft. I have just realized if I turn this off, then it just goes into enlisted. So I'm going to turn this off. Gray and black, polyester, large. I'm going to go back to my listing. 1968 is going to be my price. The AI is putting in these bullet points for me because I said just the facts. Elastic waistband, lightweight fabric, color block design, Under Armour logo, size large, and then it's got waist 16 to 17 and 33-inch inseam. Let's go back up to my pictures. The waist 16 and a half, so they're right, and then the inseam 32. what did it say again? 16 to 17, 32. So I'm going to change that. That's pretty good though, y'all, for just looking at pictures. And then I'm going to get my description that we always put in our listings that just explains how our photos are. The fact that these are unused is also a bonus, but I've mentioned this many times. Even if they've got their original tags, I didn't buy this at a store. It's not new, it's unused. You guys can, disagree or agree, but that's how I do it. And I've never had a Vero on a pair of clothes.
You list them as pre-owned, but in our description we put unused.
Yes. All right, and then the good thing also is I've never, ever done hashtag type stuff in my Mercari and Poshmark listings. It does this for you. Some of these I take out, like branded pants, polyester pants, and they're track pants. So we've got men's. They could be unisex. Athletic wear, lightweight pants, size large, gray pants, black pants. I'm just gonna sportswear. Yeah, that all seems okay. Then this is a Mercari thing. If you're listing on Mercari, to do the pre-owned and then the condition, I'm gonna go light new because they are light new. But that's the only time I make an exception. I'm going to paste in my description, my condition notes again. This is just for that part on eBay. On the app, it shows the condition up closer to the title. And then my shipping weight. Let me go back and look at my spreadsheet. 12 ounces. So I'm going to do 0, 12. I'm going to put unisex here. And then if you list on Poshmark, this is where you can put the 0 for your suggested retail price. That's what I put. I don't ever put a different value. So I'm going to do 0, quantity of 1. This is where you can put shipping dimensions for the packaging. For most of my clothes, I've just been throwing in 12 by 12 by 3. And then Express Lister automatically saves for you. It won't let you move on to the next listing until it is saved. And you can see up here at the top of the screen, it's saying progress saved, 11 seconds. Now, if I was going to do another item, I would go ahead and click new listing and it's just going to reset the screen for me. But for this example, I've finished. I'm going to go to my listings. And currently from this morning, I've got 4 clothing items that I have not listed. So they are under the unlisted. I'm going to click there. And then at this point, I'm going to go ahead and cross-list them to eBay. Because right now they're just on List Perfectly. And the thing I have learned is, like this morning, I have already been listing some non-clothing items. I have found when I cross-list from List Perfectly to eBay, it's going to pick the store categories of the last item that I've worked on, whether it was here or in eBay, because everything starts on eBay for me. Not everything goes to the other platforms.
But clothes start on List Perfectly.
Yep. Clothes have starting on List Perfectly. So what I do to help me set up so that I don't have to do a whole lot of changes to the store categories is I only cross-list one item first. So I'm going to pick the thing that we just did and go ahead and click here, and I'm going to send it to eBay. Now this is just me. If you want, you do how you do it. But for me, I have found over the last 2 weeks that it's easier to list this one item first, and I'll show you why. And it's going to be moving around on your screens. And I don't do anything until this screen pops up. My item is pre-owned, so I'm going to say done. Then I'm going to scroll to the top. So here's my pictures that's loaded. It's put in my title. Now, the last thing that I listed was in the men's category. if I had done a toy, which I thought that was the last thing I did, but I guess not, it would have had the store categories that I had put the toy in. And I would have to come in here and go ahead and change. It's been very good about the item category for eBay, but it's the store categories. So these are men's pants. So I'm just going to leave that there. Scroll down here. I'm going to finish filling in any required item specifics. But as far as the rest of these, I don't really bother with them. I know some people do. I'm just telling you how I've done my business. So unless it just stands out at me at something that I need to fill in, all the information is in my pictures and in my description. So I'm not filling in all of this stuff. There's my condition description here. Here is the whole, look, I didn't put, oh, I gotta fix this because it didn't. I like to put my title in there. For some reason, it's not there, so I either skipped it.
You skipped it.
Yep.
You did not put that in list perfectly.
Yep. So this is a good example of why I like to do only eBay first, because, you know, right now, if I had went ahead and said, oh, I'm going to cross list all of this stuff to eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari, I'd be going in and having to fix this on every single item. So right now, before I even finish this, I'm going to fix this in list perfectly, because it's just how I like to do things, and I'm a creature of habit. So I'm going to go in and edit, fix my listing here, and then save and progress. See, this is a teachable moment.
Save and close.
Save and close. And so now it's going to be ready when I cross-list it to the other platforms. So there's that. It's filled in all of that blanks. My 1968. It's got the 12 ounces. Now see, the last item that I listed, I shipped out flat rate priority. This item is under a pound. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and change this to UPS ground, and I charge a flat rate for that weight of $5.95, and then it's done. I'm going to list it. Now when I go to list the rest of the clothing items I've done, it's going to still be under the men's store category, and it's going to be under the USPS Ground Advantage shipping, and then I'll just have to change them as it's appropriate.
But if you hadn't listed a toy before this, now that you've done one clothing item, it's going to be in the men's category every time.
Right. And so if it's a woman's item, I'm going to have to change that. But I won't be changing two store categories because my toys go into two. You know, it'll be, you know, Aurora and preschool, whatever.
So with this, it's just, you just change one instead of...
Right, I don't have to keep changing over and over and over again. And then I can take the 10 clothing items, then I'll just go in and cross list to Mercari and Poshmark. I've been doing this, all of these, every single day. And then I also have started scrolling through List Perfectly. You know, I'll go, right now it's on 10. I'm going to change this to 50. You know, I think I'm way out here, like page 8. And see, none of this has been cross-listed yet. So I'm just going to, that's the plan, is to just start going through all of this. If it can be on if it can be on Poshmark and Mercari, I'm going to start cross-listing to both of them simultaneously. And if Etsy is appropriate, I'm going to get it on there also. And that's what I plan on doing for the next few months. That's the next big project.
It has a nice feature that you're on this screen because you know you're at about page 8 on getting your stuff cross-listed to the other platforms, right? Right. But if you want to know, I want to know the things that I don't have on Poshmark, you can go to the platforms there.
Yes.
And select that.
So here, if I go here and I say, what items do I have that are not on Mercari? I can click that and close it. and it's going to bring up everything that's not on Mercari. And I could do it that way. Once I start cross-listing a whole lot, there's going to be some of them that are still on Poshmark that are no longer on Mercari. So that's, this is going to be my catch-up way of see, all of these items are on Poshmark and eBay, but they're not on Mercari. So I'll be going through and adding Mercari to all of these items. The one thing I want to share with you guys right now is if you're in the Pro plan on List Perfectly, till the end of the year, they also have auto delist available to you. And it's been work. I've been watching it every time things sell. I haven't sold a thing on the other platforms yet to see how eBay works as far as showing a sold item. I'm assuming it goes into unsolds. But I haven't sold anything yet on the other platforms. We revamped all of them. We deleted most. On Mercari, I deleted all my listings and started over. On Poshmark, we deleted most. I haven't.
That was a long process.
Very, very long process. But what I've been doing is if you click on the icon up here, if you've had sales, it's going to have a screen here that pops up.
If you've had sales since the last time you clicked that button.
Right. But otherwise you click here on sales. Here it's showing me all the things that sold. And I've been watching to make sure when it is on eBay, when it sells on eBay, I come over here and make sure that I'm seeing it here. If for some reason it's been a little bit and it's not showing up, then I go up here and I toggle this switch, the sales detection switch. I do that and I do that. And within a minute or two, I get the ka-ching that says, yes, it's registering a sale. It has taken the listings that I had cross-listed to either Poshmark or Mercari. It's been taking them off. I've not had any issues as of yet. And the other really good thing is if you're on Poshmark, List Perfectly has started offering sharing. So I have turned that on. If you go into your settings here, and you click on Poshmark, you can set it up so that it's sharing for you. That's another good just added bonus. And then let me show you real quickly. I'm going to end 5 things on eBay and then show you how you reconnect them and how fast it is. So I'm going to go into my active listings. What I do is I go to time left and I'm going to go all the way to the things that are going to actually get ended tonight. So I'm going to pick 5 things and go to unsolds. Ignore all this other stuff. Well, no, I have a thing I got to fix there. Here's the 5. I'm going to do sell similar. Y'all, this is going to save me if I accidentally delete listings because they're going to be in List Perfectly. I'm not going to have to be concerned about that again. And then I'm going to submit all 5. Done, delete. If you watched my other video, done, delete. Don't forget this step. All right, these 5 I need to delete. Action, delete. I gotta fix that one listing. All right, then you're gonna go back to your active listings. All right, resort here by time left. They're gonna be at the other end. And there they are. And you'll see this link. That's all you have to do. Link, it's gonna pop up. Sometimes it's more than one picture if you've got similar things. So make sure you're clicking the correct link. Link. See, like this. Link. This is how fast it is. For me, on my slow computer, every 100 is 5 more minutes. It takes me about 5 minutes to do the 100, but some nights I do 500 to 600. So another 25 minutes to my day.
That's a good time to pop in an audiobook or put a YouTube video on another monitor and listen while you click things.
Yep, and that was how simple that was. So if you've not been doing it because of the end and sell similar, That's as easy as it is. And now you can also sort your oldest Poshmark and start ending them to get a refresh, or your oldest Mercari. You can do all of that now, and then it's just a basic link button. Hope this was informative, y'all. I'm loving it, loving it, loving it. A lot of work in the beginning, but it's going to be well worth it, you know, just to have that, the auto delist, the help with the AI express lister.
The express lister, that's part of the Pro plan or the Pro Plus or whatever
Yeah,
it is.
the next one, the next.
But it's going to be,
Right now,
the price goes up at the end of the year, right?
Yeah, right now, if you have the Pro plan, you have to request. But I mean, they're approving everybody to get the Pro Plus. But at the end of the year, you know, you're going to have to decide, is it worth it for your business? For me personally, yes, it's going to be worth it.
Does it save you enough time to make the extra price worth it, or does it increase your sales enough because you're ending and selling similar, or you're cross-listing more?
Yeah, on all of the platforms, not just eBay. So, you know, I can start refreshing some of the old Poshmark and Mercari later, because most of them are brand new at this point. So it's, you know, I just wanted to share the experience with you guys, what I've learned so far, and hopefully I'm going to learn some more stuff by doing the Zoom calls and just playing around with it a little bit more. All right, y'all, time to get to work. Bye.